everyone. The purpose of this video is to walk you through ALEKS to make sure you know exactly what's required in this class and what's optional and what you will get points for. So first of all, when you log into ALEKS, you will see this giant circle thing here. There's two different ways to use ALEKS. One way is for a teacher to require you to complete this whole circle or assign specific topics where I pick the questions. So depending on the teacher, you might use one versus the other. So in my class, filling up this circle is completely optional. You could do it, you could give it to, a friend, whoever. This is completely optional extra practice. So you don't want to click here where it says start my path unless you're looking for extra practice, because when you click on start my path, it will give you math that we're doing, but it may not. I like whatever we do in class that you have problems to do, and everyone has problems from that particular section. So this will give everyone different topics based on what ALEKS thinks you're ready for. Okay, so it has a due date here, but remember it's optional. It's not really due in the sense that on February 2nd, if you click start my path and do this for optional work, then after February 2nd, it will just open up more math that's for the next chapter we do. Okay, so then over here, it tells you a couple of upcoming assignments and things like that. But what you'd want, the part of this that is worth points is here where it says view assignment list. So that's what you're going to click on. Here's that optional algebra review. And then here are all your homework assignments that are worth points. Okay, so you can see all of the first chapters assignments are here. So the first thing I want to show you, I'm going to click on lesson 1 and 2. That's the first homework assignment in this class. So you could see that I did question 1. You could see that it's green with a check mark. Question 2 I got wrong. So the cool thing is that I can, after I get the question wrong, I can click on try another problem, and I'm going to get it wrong again. It marks it wrong, but it gives me most questions 3 attempts. So this time I'm going to go ahead and get it right, and then I earned that point. So this particular assignment was worth 17 points. So you could see that I got 2 of 17 correct. So I earned that point. When, let's say you're trying to do homework between classes, you don't have to finish it all at once. You can do a few problems, and then you can click on save for later and come back to it later. Now, let's say you accidentally submit the assignment. This assignment is not due until the day of the first test in this class. So I'm going to accidentally submit it by accident. It says that I got a 7% because I only did 2 of the 17 problems. Notice it also tells you how long I spent on that and all that information there. But the cool thing is I can click on quick retake, and those 2 problems that I already got the points will already be done. So if you accidentally click submit assignment, don't worry, you don't have to redo all the ones that you already did. But I'm going to go ahead and submit it again because I just want to show you after you've submitted an assignment, then you can click on report, and you can go through it and you could see like how long you're spending on assignments, and you can go again and do it as many times as you want. Sometimes students like to redo certain assignments that they had trouble with right before the test, and that's how they like to study. So if we go back, so I'm clicking on this hamburger menu here, and then assignments. That again is where all your homework is that you get points for in this class. But I do want to show you the due date is listed here. You could also search for an assignment by clicking over here. And then the next thing I want to go back here. So you're paying money for this product. And the reason why is because it has all these cool resources here. So the first one you would click on if you're completely clueless, you don't know how to do this problem. So if I click on that, it's going to mark it wrong because it's telling you exactly how to do it. So then if you're like, oh, okay, yeah, oh, okay, I understand this, then you can return to the question and get a different problem with different numbers to try and earn back that point. The next one is a guided solution. So instead of showing you how to do the whole problem, it's going to guide you through it step by step. The third option here is an example. So instead of it telling you exactly how to do the problem it gave you, it will give you a similar one with different numbers, and then it will show you how to do it. This is very helpful. Let's say you do a problem and you're like, I know I'm doing this right. Why am I not getting it correct? Sometimes it could be because you're not typing the answer in. For example, a lot of times students will have the problem right. Let's say the answer is 0.5. And instead, you put 1/2, and the problem says leave your answer as a decimal. It could be something as simple as not reading the directions, and you have the right value, but you're not entering it properly. So sometimes students like to click on view an example, and then they go to the bottom and they look at the answer to see how you were supposed to type in the answer. Now, the next one is the ebook. So when you pay for this product, you're also paying for an electronic copy of the textbook. So the cool thing about this is you can highlight, put post-it notes. Now, a lot of times my students don't use this because my notes are pretty detailed. But if you ever want to do more examples and things like this, here's the textbook where you could do problems. There's answers embedded in it. But you have all these resources with this to do extra practice. Now, I will tell you that when I say we're doing chapter 6, the textbook might be a different chapter. So if you're using the textbook, make sure to ask me if you're not sure which chapter correlates to it. So like chapter 6 in my class is chapter 4 in the textbook. The reason being is because every few years textbooks come up with a new edition and they go and change little things. And instead of me redoing all my videos that are labeled and all my notes, I will just tell my students what section in the textbook correlates to my notes. Okay, so check this out. It's pretty cool. You could also print the sections out and things like that. And then the message center, I would not use the message center if you want an immediate answer. If you have a question about a problem, what you'd want to do is take a picture of it and send me a text message of the problem and send me your work through Remind or through email. Remind would get you a faster answer, and show me what you're doing, and then I will reply to you with an answer much quicker than if you use the message center. Because when you use the message center, I have to then be on a computer and log into ALEKS to be able to answer your question. Whereas if you text it to me, I could be in line at the grocery store and respond back to you much quicker. So I would steer clear of using the message center. You could also, if you're stuck on a problem and you're okay waiting for class, skip over the problem you're stuck on, and you can take a picture of it, and then you can ask me at the end of class when I dismiss students and I am answering questions from homework. The next thing I want to show you, so if we go back to assignments, I have created an assignment that says quiz download lockdown browser. So if you click on this is where you can click to download lockdown browser, which you will use for the exams in this class. Remember, you can't use a Chromebook. So how do you know if you have a Chromebook? A Chromebook doesn't allow you to save anything to your desktop. It's usually a less expensive computer, and it's mainly for using the internet and Microsoft Word and things like that. Okay. So that's how you would download Lockdown Browser. And if you want to see what it looks like, I think I put one question for this. Completely optional, but you do need to download it before the first test. So that is where you can do that. Okay, and then the next thing I want to show you, if you go back to your Canvas, so here's our Canvas for this class. Let's say you're working on a homework assignment here in ALEKS and you need help immediately. Remember that the tutoring center is open from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Friday. So not on the weekends though. So if you need help, click here in our class and click on MCC Math Tutors, and it will open up a list. I don't know if it will, yeah, see, normally there would be pictures and times the tutors are there, but they just made the scheduling because I'm making this video before they have it all ready here. But normally it would show up with pictures of tutors and their times and what level they tutor. Okay, so then again, on the day of your test, that's when you can click on grades and go to your grade book and you will see scores. Now, if you're very anxious and you want to see what your grade is because you're like, I did them all, you can, on the grade book here in Canvas, you can click on an assignment because you're like, well, I know I did it, and give yourself your own grade. This is not permanent, so you can mess around with these and see what your score is. Because if you're like, will it really help me to do my homework and get 100% versus leaving it at a 90? Here's how you can figure that out. You can go in and mess around with your grade book, and then you could see what your grade is here on the side. And then if you want to go back to what your real grade is, you click on revert. And again, to access your homework, you just click on the home page, and then you would scroll down, and here it says online homework, and this is where you go to do your daily homework for this class. And then also every day in this class, there are video notes that you watch videos on and take notes on. And here's our first chapter. And you would just click on lesson 1 video notes or whatever video note you're doing, and the links are here. You can click on them. I also told you how long, so you could budget your time each day. You watch the videos, print this out, do the problem, show all the work as modeled in class, and then click submit and scan your video notes. Okay, so the video notes are due every single day when you come to class, but the ALEKS homework is not due until the day of your test. So my recommendation is every day after class, you do your video notes, then you go to ALEKS, go to assignments, and even if you don't have time to do all these 17 problems, do some of them. Skip around. Don't go from one to the end. Skip around and do some of the problems so you're getting daily individual practice. Now, I do want to remind you that, yes, there's all these resources here to help you here in ALEKS, but if you're having to constantly click on example or explanation, that does not mean you're prepared for an exam in this class. That does not mean you've learned it properly. Understanding the math, it is totally normal to need these resources at first. But by the time you get through this assignment, you should start not needing these resources as much. When you don't need to click on these resources, that is when you understand the math. But if you're using these, because sometimes students will be like, well, I don't understand why I'm not doing good in this class. I do all the homework. But ask yourself, are you doing the homework by having to rely on those resources there? Like I said, they're there because I want you to use them when you first begin the assignment because you're learning. But by the end, you shouldn't have to touch those as often. Okay, so if we go back to Canvas and we click on home screen and we go to course calendar, if you use this, you will know what's due every single day. So you could see the first day for this class. If you click on these things, it will take you to what you need to do. So it's pretty clear. And you could see that ALEKS homework is not due until the day of your test. So the things that say they're due the next day, they're due the next day. So every day, please print this out and check the calendar. This is your guide of what needs to be completed every single day of this class. Alrighty. Well, I hope this was helpful for you, and that you feel more comfortable after watching this, navigating through the resources and the things that you will need for this class. And I just want to say one last thing, that my goal is for you to be successful. If there's anything in this class that's causing you to stress out, communicate that to me. My husband and I, we work well together because we communicate. And that is important for a relationship. And we have a relationship, student teacher, and you need to just communicate to me. So I do have structure in my class. I do have requirements, deadlines, but keep in mind that that's to help us and to give us a guideline of what needs to be completed and things like that. But I do want to say that if I do make an exception for somebody, or give somebody one extra day on one particular assignment and things like that, that happens to students that are doing what they're supposed to and put in all their effort from day one. So if you're somebody that is constantly late to class, late to do assignments, no effort, then that's going to be a different type of conversation that I have with that student versus somebody in week 12 who's never missed a homework assignment, always on time, and needs an extra day for something. Or somebody who's doing and working so hard, and in week 10 in this class, they get sick. You got to communicate these things to me. I don't want anyone to withdraw this class or stop doing this class because they found something in my class like, oh, I can't print this. Talk to me. We'll make it work. So communicate anything to me that you're having issues with. I care about all my students, and just talk to me. I'm a regular human being like you guys, and I get sick. I have things that happen in my life as well that, get me down or make me not feel good. So just understand I'm human just like you, and just talk to me if things go on during the semester, or you need advice, or, something's not working for you, or something's stressing you out because maybe you're doing it wrong, and I could provide tips to make it go faster or strategies to help you be more successful.